only one way. Gotta bring it straight to their face. Ain't nobody safe. Plus it's only one first place. Know what that means? This ain't a fight, it's a war. We focus on up in the score. If you think you better than battle, if you really with it, then battle. Just battle. If you think you better than battle.
Let's get it.
Only first place finishes, so I seek and destroy every one of my nemesis. My power limitless, and my scorecard is perfect, it don't have no blemishes. No apologies, cause I ain't you, it's just my nature that makes me a different type of creature. I'm a bitcher, bonafide gamer. Before you play me, better read the disclaimer. I'm that force to be reckoned with. I know your mama didn't warn you, you shouldn't be messing with. You don't compare to me. We're not the same, there's no similarity. Moment of clarity, you should be scared of me. Run all, you'll never get rid of me. So incredibly outdone. If we go to war, I'm the one you can't outrun.
Only one way. Gotta bring it straight to their face. Ain't nobody safe. Plus it's only one first place. Know what that means? This ain't a fight, it's a war. We focus on up in the score. If you think you better than battle. If you really with it, then battle. Just battle. If you think you better than battle. Just battle. If you really with it, then battle. Just battle. If you think you better than battle me. When it's time to ball. We back in the field, we ready, it's time. It's nothing but hustle inside of the huddle, you know that I grind. A dangerous mind, a weapon of choice when pushing the line. Go overtime and I won't break when it's crunch time. My end game is number one. Bet it all, give me my cash. Supreme game, can't stop it. Take off like a rocket. Break it back, don't bend mine. I'm the one now, you can't hide. Legendary like legacy. This is our moment, our time.
Our time.
This is our moment. This is our time. Time is now. It's time to rise. This is our moment. This is our time. The time is now. It's time to rise. Yeah. Coming for glory. We ready for war. The city's behind us. We giving you more. We ready whenever. The world is watching. The time is now. No other option. No other way. Play to win the way that we play. Destined for greatness, born to be great, ahead of the game. In front of the pack, leading the way, it's time to reign. The kingdom's here, this is our year. Been to the bottom, ain't nothing to fear, we running the game. Rushing the field for every yard, on every play. Nobody's safe, rise when we fall, but never stay down. The champs is here, doing it for the town. This is our moment, this is our time. The time is now, it's time to rise. This is our moment, this is our time. Time is now, time to rise. It's time to rise. This is our time. It's our moment. It's our time. Feet in the dirt, nose to the ground, like the crack of dawn.
You can't stop the shine. Moment after moment, day after day. It's our time. Lock and loaded, it's time for war. Tear down, kick in the door. Yeah, I want it all, give me some more. I want it all, give me some more. I want it all, give me some more. Yeah, kill 'em all, it's time for war. It's time for war. Like pandemonium, I set it off. Yeah. Sacrifice, I bear the cross. Legendary, I'm a big dog. Hard knock on the front line. Pure blood, my bloodline. Headshots the first time. My aim good, bullseye. Warfare, don't play fair. Don't play fair. You not sure? Don't go there. I'm right here. Yeah. No fear, I'm ready to go at top speed. No brick wall can block me. No army can stop me. Yeah, I want it all and I can't lose. I came far and I won't stop. This my time, I pay dues. Yeah, it's wartime and I won't retreat. I want it all, give me some more. I kill them all, won't taste defeat. Nah, now bow down at the king's feet. It's time for war. I want it all, give me some more. Kill 'em all, it's time for war. Kill 'em all, it's time for war. It's time for war.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the playoffs. And this is actually the penultimate race of the season. This is the final round in the round of 8. 8 will become 4. 4 drivers are going to be eliminated with their opportunity in hopes of being able to run for a championship when it is all said and done tonight. And the virtual track that is Phoenix Raceway, which decided the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series champion, Xfinity Series, and Camping World Truck Series champions of Zane Smith, Ty Gibbs, and, of course, 2-time Cup Series champion Joey Logano, is the site virtually of where they're going to battle for the Northwest penultimate race of the season. I am Wesley Outland. Welcome aboard. Terry Radford is alongside. To the middle and to the far right is Jason Rockefeller, and we look forward to bringing this to you. Terry, this is going to be an exciting race. I really think that we're going to really see some fireworks, but many times I've said that about Dover. It didn't happen. I'm very optimistic, though, that I think Phoenix is not going to disappoint us one bit tonight.
Please don't remind me of what was Dover week. My head still hurts from Monday and Thursday, all right? Yeah, but this is going to be a better show. Phoenix across the board, across the platform of NASCAR and iRacing has been really good all week long. It was such a phenomenal weekend across the 3 championship races. Had some sad news out of Phoenix on Sunday, but it was still a very decent race, all right? And now I'll pass it over to Jason Rockefeller, who looks like, what's his name from Home Improvement? Wilson?
Yeah. Yeah, it should be a really, really good race here tonight, as Terry continues to laugh at me. I get made fun of way too much on this broadcast for everything that happens with
You're
me.
the low-hanging fruit.
I know. I'm also the youngest, but Yeah, Carrot Top, Ed Sheeran. You can call me whatever. Anybody that's ginger.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Oh, now hey
anybody
Jason,
here tonight watching?
my question is the girlfriend in the background again.
No, she's
Yeah.
not. She is not. She's not here this weekend. Not here. I just have
Well,
my nice bed. Hey, listen, man. She's a Blaney fan too.
Listen, we,
But
we,
and
we
Ryan
make fun
Blaney,
of you,
by the
but we
way,
love
second
you.
place. Ryan Blaney, second place, by the way, behind Logano and a Penske 1-2 finish at Phoenix. Jason, I gotta get back to the serious note, though, buddy. What do you think we're gonna see here at Phoenix? This should be some exciting, fun racing, no doubt.
yeah, for sure. Phoenix drives just like a short track, but at the same time, it's not a short track, honestly. You know, you got Stefan O'Hare and Ryan Bloom who have already advanced their way into the Final Four next week at Homestead. You know, you're going to see a lot of guys here on these restarts. It's going to be crucial. You know, you want to get past that line. Try to use that dog leg to your advantage as much as possible. Get into the corner deep and just try to just stick it down there. You know, you really got to hold your ground. You know, it's going to be hard to pass all night long, but we're in for a good one here tonight at Phoenix, I believe.
We came so close to not being able to do this broadcast, and because of things of that nature, I just want to show you real quickly on the broadcast here. Can you make me full screen real quick, Charles? Can you make me full screen only? No, you can't. Well, never mind. Forget you. He can't make me full screen either. Anyhow, all right. For those people that couldn't see it, the championship playoffs down to two drivers that advanced is, of course, Stefan O'Hare and Ryan Bloom, winner last week at Dover that Jason just mentioned. You got a guy like Tyler King, 2 points out. Kevin Smith is right there tied with him. Then you got drivers like Dennis Moore, Paul Newton, Sean Brightsman, and Dan West Jr. There's no easy way out here, Terry. Bottom line, if you're one of these drivers that we mentioned besides the two, you can take your phone down now. Who do we see come from the ashes, if you will, pull the Hail Melon in the point battle to try to make it in the championship run and join Stefan O'Hare and Ryan Bloom? And the final spot, two spots might be determined by points if we continue to see this surge of drivers that are winning races that are not points contenders. And that is a very strong possibility here tonight.
Well, I mean, if I go based off of qualifying so far, I would have to say Stefan O'Hare is going to walk away with this. But looking at the points, you can't count out Sean Brightsman or Dan West Jr. I mean, you just can't.
Right.
Every time we've kind of done it, we've just like swept them off and said these guys aren't. You know, they're done. Their playoff chances are over. They hit a walk off. I mean, Ryan Bloom hit a walk-off last week, said, listen, I can't come to Phoenix. I can't race here tonight. I have to win. He was last, Wesley. He was last in the playoff grid.
Sure.
He's second right now.
That's right.
I got to throw Dan West Jr. I think that's your winner here tonight, walk-off style.
Jason, what are you thinking, buddy?
I mean, like Terry said, I mean, Sean Brightsman and Dan West Jr. are two guys you really got to look out for, but I'm going to go with Paul Newton. I mean, he's been really quiet here and there, you know, sometimes. I mean, he's having good runs, then sometimes he's not having good runs. Sometimes the strategy doesn't play out the way he is. He's been solid and consistent here the last few weeks from what I've been seeing and from what I've been broadcasting with y'all. I think that Paul Newton is definitely a driver who's going to be one to look out for. If anything chaotic were to happen later on in this race, Paul Newton might just be the guy you got to look out for that can creep his way in.
Jason says his name, he goes top of the board, Wesley.
There you go, Paul Newton, top of the board. I'll tell you somebody that I think we should keep an eye on, hands down, and that is going to be the driver of the 00, Kevin Smith. He's coming off of a runner-up finish last week at Dover. He's been really, really consistent this year. He's improved his game. The driver out of Walla Walla, Washington, in that Click It RV 00. I believe Kevin Smith will be the driver that will join Stefan O'Hare and Ryan Bloom. And the final point spot, I think, will go to Dennis Moore. We're going on track when we return next. You're live on iRacing on LSRTV. Big props to Rocket Media and Charles Wooten behind the scenes to get this race on at the midnight hour great work on the technical side, and of course, simulcast of the Community Radio Network. Strap in. 2 races remain. Final race in the round of 8 to lock in the Final 4 for a championship. That is next Thursday night, by the way, from Florence Motor Speedway in South Carolina with Terry Rafford and myself, and we'll have a whole lot more details about that throughout the night. We're back in a moment.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
This is our series,
so many different pieces that you have to watch out for,
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. Welcome back to the virtual Phoenix Raceway. The things that we talk about on thank you, by the way, for the veterans. And by the way, happy 274th birthday to the few, the proud, the Marines on this day as well. But of course, again, thank you guys for all that you do for the men and women that continue to fight for our country. And again, we're back at Phoenix Raceway. And I love the fact that, Terry, I'm excited for the first time ever. We are going to race on the new Phoenix Raceway. Last year, they raced on the boring oval, in my opinion. This is the new configuration with the dog leg.
I love it. And by the way, happy Veterans Day to everybody out there. All the people I served with years ago. Appreciate y'all still holding it down. Happy birthday to the Crayon Eaters. But both of y'all's top people. You picked Kevin Smith. He picked Paul Newton. 1, 3, and hey, Dan West Jr. finally showed up to the party. He's 4th. So all of our picks in the top 5 right now in qualifying.
Except for Dennis Moore. Dennis Moore, where are you? He is not here in the 44. He might have just put himself out of contention for a chance for the championship. And I'm going to have to throw for a Hail Mary and say probably Dan West Jr. Can be somebody to watch for sure. So we got all these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to go racing at Phoenix. 25 entries on the pole, row 1. Kevin Smith, my pick tonight. Caden Anderson on the outside. One of the greats of trucks racing as well, row 1. Row 2, we will find Paul Newton in the 27. Dan West Jr. right there alongside row 2. Row 3, Stephen O'Hare. You know he's running at Homestead for the championship next week, and Cole Raz alongside. Row 4, Chris White in the 47, the 2021 Cup Series champion. And Devin West, Terry, will make up the first 8 cars of 26 here tonight.
You got Aaron Cooper and Jeff Stabnow running out row 5. Back there in row number 6, Sean Breitzman and Frank Harris. Row 7, Tyler King and Briar Reynolds. And Rounding out row 8, Toby Ritters and John Ottenbacher.
And then you got row 9, you got Brett Johnson in the number 7 and Gary Nichols in the number 8. Row 10, you got Casey Garber in the number 994, and you got James Vining in the number 333. And row 11, you got BJ Tidrick and Ray Forner in the number 26. Row 12, you got Chad Malik and Troy Daggett. And row 13, rounding out the field, you got Bryce Clark in the number 93.
There's the lineup as they're ready to go on the grid, ready to roll off of pit lane. By the way, this track at just at a mile. There's going to be that dog leg in between turn number 1 to 2 as you see them entering off the dog leg. So the dog leg is at the end of the start-finish line off of pit road, going in now to turn number 1. If you're new to Phoenix Raceway and the new configuration that was done about 3 years ago, Terry Radford, it's very simple. The front straightaway of the old Phoenix is now the back straightaway, and the old back straightaway is now the front straightaway. Just flip-flop it, and I think it has made it so exciting for race finishes.
Yeah, and it also makes the restarts a little bit more challenging because you got to go down what used to be the front straightaway, make that turn, and then it's go time because the start and finish line of the Geico restart zone's right and there.
Yes, and it is go time. Pace car has already scampered from the field in the back straightaway. Playoffs, round of 8, final round, penultimate race of the season. And ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race through the dog leg into turn number 1. It is going to be Caden Anderson. He'll jump out in front. They're on the back straightaway. Jason, to you off turn number 2 in the early going.
Yes, side by side, Dan West Jr. and Kevin Smith, they're battling for the second spot. Other drivers back there, still 2 by 2, but right now it's all Caden Anderson off the final corner coming to lead lap number 1 at the line.
Yeah, he led lap number 1, but
Go ahead, Terry. Go ahead, brother.
I think Caden Anderson jumped that restart. He was not our pole sitter on that outside, and Kevin Smith did not start rolling before the 37 jump.
It looks like Devin West jumping out of line there for just a moment. So we'll get a rhythm going here, kind of like radio style. Me and Terry will call the front to the turn 1. And then, of course, back stretch to 3 will be our friend Jason Rockefeller as they work through the dog leg into turn 1. Anderson and West fight for the lead. Your pick.
Right now, Dan West Jr., he's just kind of trying to roll top a little bit better, and he's right there. He's to the outside quarter panel of Caden West, or Caden Anderson, excuse me, as they battle it down to 3 hard braking zone.
See Caden Anderson to the outside of Dan West Jr., or Dan West Jr. to the outside of Caden Anderson. They come storming across the line. A little bit of dog leg action happened on through the entire field. So far, now you got Dan West Jr., race leader.
So far, great job by Dan West, able to clear Caden Anderson. Oh, Kevin Smith in the wall there off turn number 2. Looks like he got a piece of it there with the right rear off the corner. Not sure how much damage that's going to do to his truck.
Whatever happens there, we'll keep an eye on that 00 as you see the field of trucks and the thundering herd screaming by in the early going. Working down lap number 4. There's Cole Rass. He's in 3rd. Kevin Smith, after his damage, falls back to the number 2 spot. And Jason, I'm understanding Dan West Jr., the fastest truck in P1.
Yeah, Dan West Jr. just ran a 26.93. And remember, folks, he needs to win pretty much. He was 24 points coming into this race outside the playoffs, looking in right now. And here he is with just 0.7 of a second over Caden Anderson. He's trying to come home with a walk-off victory here tonight at Phoenix.
Yeah, my pick to win here this afternoon, that 55 machine, Dan West Jr. Wesley, it's so hard to count him out. It's hard to count him or Sean Brightsman out because they always seem to find speed. Whenever they need to find it, they are able to pick up that extra 10, put themselves, and you best believe that this setup was practiced for an entire week to prep for this race.
Yeah, no doubt about it, as the leaders work their way off the back straightaway, what used to be the front stretch here at Phoenix Raceway until the configuration. Dan West Jr., like Jason and Terry said, needed a walk-off. I just said he might be the guy to do it. He crosses the line. He's up in front. fastest truck of everybody. Then it's Caden Anderson, Cole Raz, Kevin Smith, Devin West. There's your top 5, Jason, as they work to you in turn 1.
Yeah, Dan West continuing to lead by just about a second and a half. And noticing, guys, that these drivers, they're continuing to cut that dog leg here these first 8 laps. Got to be careful doing that because you can kind of just, not damage the truck in a sense, but you could actually, believe it or not, burn up those tires a little bit more if you head down onto that dog leg as this run progresses throughout the night.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You could bottom out as well. You're going to see a lot of trouble down in there. If we get a longer run, you get about 30, 40 laps in, you start to hit that groove, Wesley. You could tear it up. The back end will want to slip out from under you.
And we have double screen options there as you're seeing the 21 of Tyler King going at it for position with Aaron Cooper and Frank Harris on board now with Jeff Stabnow on the bottom right. He's in that number 7 position. All of this action going on here now as we're about to put 10 laps on the board. Dan West Jr. is the driver that's out in front. Caden Anderson in second. And all this great racing action continues as they work their way back into the corner into 3 and 4. Right now, Newton, the pick from Jason alongside is Stabnow. They battle side by side. They bonsai to go for a nice move to the inside to cut off some distance in the dog leg. It just won't work there. Back to turn 1, Jason.
Yeah, Newton's just trying to roll the bottom right now, but Jeff's just able to roll top a lot better. He'll clear him off the corner, but the 47 of Chris White, he's right there to take that position away from Paul Newton if he slips just one more time as they're into 3.
See the 47 of Chris White right on the back bumper of the 27 of Paul Newton. And then you got the 41 machine of Stephen O'Hare and Sean Breitzman right there rounding out the top 10. These drivers very close-knit. I mean, the only one that's really pulled a large advantage is Dan West Jr. Everybody else is within a second of each other.
And right now, he's pulled out to almost 3 seconds right now. Want to know, though, is if this run, continues to be green, is if he's going to end up burning the tires more than Cole Raz. Because I know that Cole is actually pretty good at saving tires. He can be aggressive at times. But Dan just looks to be just like putting on a clinic. I mean, he's now up over 3 seconds now. So it's going to be interesting to see is if this run progresses, if it does stay green, will Cole be able to reel him in if he saves his tires good enough?
Look at the high-away view from the top of the broadcast here on LSRTV, and that is the driver of Dan West Jr. from Shelton, Washington, 2-time and defending Truck Series champion of the Northwest. He is looking to try to go for a hat trick, but he's going to have to do it by a walk-off right now. Number 8 seed in number 1 spot. They're on the back straightaway, another lap of the board here as they work the 3. Oh, you gotta love the sound of those trucks, the thunder, the speed, all coming at you at full power. And a lot of good racing here so far in the opening 15 laps, no doubt about it, Jason, off 2.
Yeah, you see these guys, though, they're just kind of trying to, roll the corners better, trying to keep the tires on it. You don't want to slide too much, especially off the corners. That can really hurt your right front off the corners, especially out of turn 2 if you get on the throttle too early.
Yeah, let's look. I'm taking a look at our lap times here when they all come across the board. Consistently every single lap, Dan West Jr. has been 2/10 faster in the field. You see it on the screen for our YouTube watchers. It was a 27.517. Well, Cole Raz in second that just moved there, a 27.717. And so exactly 2/10 of a second faster the entire time. And they did it again. They come across that line. It's another 2/10 of a second. They put some, that 55, he's on a mission.
Yeah, Dan's just
Jason,
job.
it's amazing. It's amazing what, from your viewpoint, the race seems completely different when you move from the back straightaway to what used to be the start-finish line to now this opportunity where they come to you from the dog leg into turn 1 and that gap in the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys, back when this track used to have the start-finish on the front straightaway, you were going to plan turn 1 way differently then because that's turn 1. And now with this configuration from what it was about 3-4 years ago, whenever it was, turn 1, what used to be, is now turn 3. You saw Daniel Hemrick basically almost in a sense just use air to just push Austin Cindric up the racetrack for the 2021
That's right.
Xfinity Series title. So it's really interesting to see now how these guys take on, this new configuration of Phoenix, especially on the restarts. That dogleg is a huge advantage for guys on restarts compared to how it used to be when everybody was pretty much up to speed by the time they got onto the back straightaway. And now that it's after the restart zone, guys are just trying to take advantage of it as much as they can.
Believe it or not, they're coming to the line here in another lap, but it'll be 20 laps on the board. As now we see a battle inside the top 5. Stab now down to the inside. He's got one more shot to try to make a run for Cup Series Championship Final 4 on Monday night, when the penultimate race of that season will be at Phoenix on Monday. And remember, the final race of the season will be next Thursday night at Homestead after tonight's race. And remember, a special location for the championship finale for Terry Radford and myself. We will be, Terry, up topside in a real broadcast racetrack booth to call the finish of this race and the season for the Northwest Trucks.
If somebody would have told me 5 months ago when I joined LSRTV and started calling races over here for the Northwest Truck Series that I would be standing up top of one of the greatest racetracks and one of the most historic racetracks for the NASCAR roots at Florence Speedway, I'd have told you you're crazy. But dreams come true. Working hard pays off, and at some point in time you catch a break. I catch a break next week to stand atop there. You know who else is not catching a break? It kind of is, but isn't. It's Cole Raz. He caught the wall, but he still has the speed in that truck. His last lap by was a 28.11. Don't know where he got that damage from at what corner, but he's getting attacked by the 5 of Devin West, who we wanted to see come back. And it had a good run in the Cup Series at the Dover Speedway on Monday.
Don't forget coverage of the Finish Line Motorsports Show live from the 30th running of the Charlie Powell South Carolina Memorial 400, the biggest race ever. It will be on Flow Racing. However, LSR Productions, Rocket Media, Fox Sports Radio, and Chicken Bone Alley podcasts will have coverage of not only Finish Line all 3 days. In addition to that, also special content from the pits, interviews, and the Peel Draw qualifying show will be live only on LSR Productions, LSRTV, and on Chicken Bone Alley. Thanks to David Rogers, it will be a simulcast. Drivers including Ty Majeski, Josh Berry, and 2-time Daytona 500 winner, Mr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. himself, and others will be joining us on Friday night, November the 18th. 25 laps are completed here, and again with 150 to go. Terry, they were not finished yet, as we still have this heated battle going on for the number 3 position between Anderson West trying to get around Raz, and I think he'll clear him now off the corner.
Yeah, Raz is going to get the momentum on the outside, but just announced a couple days ago, Landon Huffman will be driving the high Bronx vodka machine at Florence Speedway. So it'd be pretty cool to see all those drivers mingle it here. But it's interesting to see with Cole Raz and Jason. I don't know if you saw the damage or where he got that from on that 10 machine, but he's still holding the serve right there, even with the little stripe on the right.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job at being able to hold his ground, like you were just saying. It had to, in my opinion, had to have happened off turn number 2. As you see Devin West look to the inside of him into turn 3, but he hit it square. That's the number 10 of Cole Raz, by the way. The damage is pretty much right on the door number. You can't even see the right side door number anymore. It's basically completely shredded, like if you took a Matchbox car and just threw it across the room or slid it across your kitchen floor, whatever it may be.
Or your cell phone.
That thing is destroyed.
Or
your
cell phone.
Yeah. But I mean, right now, Cole Raz is still holding ground, and he's just under attack right now by Devin West. It had to come out of the corner, but also you gotta think about it too. It's now 29 laps into this green flag run. Tires are starting to wear out. I've noticed Caden Anderson off turn 4 the last few laps. He's actually kind of lost a little bit of ground to these 2 in front of him. He's slipping and sliding off the corners, so keep in mind, tires are starting to wear out.
And by the way, to explain our, pardon the pun, analogy of the, if you will, throwing of cell phones. Again, as I mentioned before the green flag fell, we had some technical issues here on the server for our production, and quick work there by the minds of Charles Wooten to get us on the air. And one of the things that went bonsaiing through the air in the process of anger was his cell phone, and he might have broke it. So if anybody wants to make donations, if anybody wants to make donations to Charles in PayPal or Venmo to help him get his cell phone back on track, please do what you can to help also the pet population in having your pet spaded or neutered as well.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob Barker. As the five had a little bit of issues right there with Cole Raz. Those two almost made contact off the exit of the corner, but I watched him have that crazy meltdown, and it was pretty funny. First time I showed up 30 minutes early to a to a production meeting. I was on time. Oh, what a move! There's Caden Anderson. He sailed that sucker in there.
Yeah, they're really starting to slip and slide now. I just said, whoa, when you guys were laughing before, because Devin West nearly lost it right off the corner off turn 2 just a lap ago. That was crazy, but like I said, tires are starting to wear out now, and you're seeing these drivers, they're just trying to get everything they can get. Right there, you talked about it before, Terry, you're going to see guys starting to slide going into the dog leg as oh, there we go, we got a truck in the wall right there. Not too sure who that is. I believe that might be Bryce Clark in the number 93.
Yep, Bryce Clark, truck 93.
Yeah,
and we'll see how much damage he has, whatever it is. We're still staying green, though. No caution. I will say this, though we're not cautions out yet in this race. We're caution-free so far at the moment. Working 35 laps for this show here, Terry. This race has been a lot more exciting than what we saw at Dover last Thursday and Monday night for sure.
Yeah, for the people that watched that, I'm not sure what we call it. More of me and you bantering back and forth about how anticlimactic that race was. We're only 3 drivers finished on the lead lap in a snooze fest, I would say. This race has been anything but. You've seen that race, and you're about to see 3 wide right here with Cole Raz, Devin West, and Caden Anderson through the center of the corner. This shows you the multi-facet grooves that are on this racetrack where every driver can span across every little spot and try to find some type of speed. And now we're going to make this a 5-car battle for the second place position as there's more people coming in. There's Chris White in the background.
Yeah, you see Devin West going to the inside, another lap truck in front of them. That's the 26 of Ray Forner. These guys have been duking it out. Had to have been the last 15 laps. I mean, this is crazy. But Terry, back to your point, talk about a multi-groove racetrack. For what Phoenix is, turns 1 and 2, you can use the bottom, you can use the apron, you can use the middle, you could use the top pretty much. Oh, we got a yellow on the track actually.
Yep.
I'll hold that thought for a second.
Caution.
We'll see what happens.
I think it might be Clark or maybe Ray Fournier with a problem in the 26 machine. It might be Tidrick, 2-time winner of the Northwest Series Cup. Not truck wins, but the caution is out. And we go into the yellow flag on lap number 37 here. Here's your replay. Let's see if we can find out what happened. I'm thinking it's Fournier in the 26 and Tidrick. We'll find out here.
Oh, he's good. Caution was out there.
Yeah, the caution was already out there, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
I really think it was Tidrick, guys. I think it was
Yeah,
Tidrick.
it was Tidrick.
Caution
really
out for
slow off
BJ
turn 2.
Tidrick. Yep, we'll watch him off the dog leg here. And going back into turn number 1 from the dog leg right there to turn 1. And that's that gray 72. And I believe that's the truck that hit the wall earlier in front of you, Jason, and we didn't have a caution. That might not have been Bryce Clark. It might have been the 72.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, he just loosed it off the corner. Hard hit to the inside wall. That's just getting on the throttle too early on really worn out tires. I talked about it before. These tires are crucial. As you see, everybody's on pit road. I can just imagine that these guys all want 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles here because those tires, were, oh my goodness. I mean, they were screaming at you probably from outside the truck saying, change us, change us. I mean, he just lost it right off the corner.
Make no squirrels about it. Make no squirrels about it. No doubt about it. The cavalry's coming onto the pit lane here, Terry, and it's going to be 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, stinks for Dan West Jr. He had a 7.5 second lead on this field, and now he has to do it all over again.
So the caution coming out, of course, Cole Raz and others, the entire cavalry coming down to the pit lane. Dan West Jr. has been the man that has trying to pull off the Christopher Bell, if you will, like at the Roval and Martinsville in the Cup Series here for the Truck Series of the Northwest, to be the walk-off. Right now, the number 8 seed up in P1. We're at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification and take you to commercial break as well. This is the round of 8 finale for the Northwest Racing Series Trucks iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network from Phoenix.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. And by the way, Finish Line, as that show just mentioned, it will be on location from the 30th South Carolina Charlie Powell Memorial 400 weekend. That is next Thursday through Saturday. Thanks to NASCAR, thanks to Steve Zacharias, everybody at Florence Motor Speedway, and the broadcast coverage on Flow Racing of the South Carolina 250 on Friday night and the South Carolina 400 on Saturday. We'll have coverage leading up to the event, the content, pit reports, driver interviews, and 3 days of Finish Line, not counting the Peel Draw show next week from South Carolina. And the championship for the Northwest Racing Series trucks will be from Homestead, from Terry and myself in the press box at Florence, South Carolina as well. We're looking forward to it. Green flag back in the air as we settle in here after the first caution of the race on lap number 41. It's the father, it's the son in flank, and they're working their way to you, Jason, on lap 41.
Yeah, Dan and Devin right now down the back straightaway, diving into one. You see Caden Anderson, though, almost jumped the restart there last time around, but he's underneath Stab now. He's going to be sideways. What a save by Caden Anderson off turn number 4. That's just putting a little too much mustard into it right there as they barrel it down into turn 1 now. Caden Anderson under attack from Chris White.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of gear ratio he's got in there. Those
Trouble.
12s around.
Briar Reynolds back straight away. Briar Reynolds is around. Caution will come out to Jack Daniels, Army number 12, representing Old Glory proudly. And the yellow flag will fly. Briar Reynolds. Watch this, Terry. Your take of what happened as they went through the dog leg into 1 and 2.
You see him catch the dog leg right here. He comes back up. He looked fine and dandy. He did the same thing B.J. Tedrick did. When he went through the corner, gets on the gas, changes lanes. When he swaps back up, bam, around he goes. Hard in the wall there.
And another yellow flag, second one of the race. Second flag, Dan West Jr., Devin West, father, son, right there alongside each other. And no doubt about it, Jason, as we get ready to put another lap on the board, Devin West has not ran as many races as Daddy has, but you can rest assured he's going to do everything he can to help his dad be up in front to try to win this race and be the walk-off number 8 seed to go for a 3rd straight opportunity to win a championship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, what better than to be a father, you know, son finished 1-2. I mean, that would be awesome, you know. I mean, here they are sitting, you know, 1-2. I mean, still a long ways to go, give or take. You know, this race could totally be flip-flopped, you know, if we keep getting the chaos that we do, like, on the last restart there. But, I mean, this would be awesome for Dan West Jr. if he was able to, you know, do a walk-off. Talked about it earlier. 24 points out coming into this here finale for the round of 8. You know, he needs a win. And here he is. And not only is he just leading, but he's absolutely dominating. He was up about 7, almost 8 seconds at one point. So if he was to win here tonight, and if Devin was to finish in 2nd, I could just imagine how happy those two would be.
Terry Radford, your thoughts on the walk-off possibly for DWJN 55?
I picked him. I think it's going to happen. You look at his teammates, 2nd, teammates 3rd. I mean, what better way to hold it there? You don't have Caden Anderson behind you no more. That potential jump of the restart's not going to happen. I don't expect the 5 or the 24 to put any pressure on him. I mean, he's been the class of the field. He's got the fastest lap. He's been 0.2 faster than the field the entire time. I think they're gonna hold serve here and play good teammate and just send him to the promised land at the end.
Well, we'll certainly keep an eye on that here as, again, we are closing in on what would be about 130 laps to go here. Terry Radford, Jason Rockefeller, I am Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten is in production along with Rocket Media Live Sim Racing Productions. And we bring you the penultimate race of the 2022 season calendar. This is the final race in the round of 8. 8 drivers will become 4. We know officially Stephen O'Hare and Ryan Bloom will be joining 2 others when tonight is over to see who will be the 4 drivers for championship race next Thursday night at Homestead. And by the way, Ryan Bloom, Terry, not even here tonight. So he knew exactly what he had to do at Dover last week as the pace car is dropping onto the pit lane under the lights here at Phoenix, my friend.
Yeah, he told us last week, hey, couldn't race at Phoenix. Got family prior engagements that he's got to go do. He said he had to win. He went out. I mean, he put on a stink show as these drivers met the rocket on and put like 48 on this board.
Sure did. Ready for the restart. Closing in on lap number 50. 125 remaining. And we're back to it again here after the 2nd yellow flag in the Geico restart zone at Phoenix. They'll send it off at a 1. Through the dog leg. Up to turn 1. Dan West Jr. Great restart of the Cavalry. Jason, they're in view in 1.
Yeah, Devin, though, he's under attack right now from Jeff Stabnow down the back straightaway. Chris White, though, to the outside. He almost got squeezed into the wall by Jeff Stabnow off 2. He'll try to clear him as they come off turn 4. Chris White, Jeff Stabnow battle for the 3rd spot.
Jeff Stabnow almost got taken out right there by Chris White. Both of them were wrecking loose. Stabnow was pointed in the wrong direction. White was pointed in the wrong direction for a second. But the 47 machine to the outside, he's got a massive head of momentum and steam down here going into 3 and 4, trying to pass the 5 of Devin West.
That's Jeff Stabnow on board with him. Jason, you missed your cue. As he goes down to the inside, Chris White drifts up in front of him, working off the corner. Devin West on the inside. They're single file, and that works now their way back into turn number 3. On again, what used to be the old front straightaway. They cycle back around into the corner. There's Stabnow and Anderson. They battle now for the top 5. This all goes on to the corner on lap 50 to Dan West Jr., the leader in 1.
Aiden Anderson, though, he's going to try to slide it right in front of Jeff Stabnow, though, off turn 2. But Jeff Stabnow says, he's going to try to challenge back on the outside. Almost hits the wall off the corner. Him and Anderson, though, still side by side as they battle it down the 3. And Stephen O'Hare lurking just about 2 truck lengths back behind them.
You see those 2 drivers side by side at the moment. Caden Anderson's trying to rebound back up. He's down 2 spots from where he qualified in the P2 position. You see Stephen O'Hare just trying to stalk, trying to pray. Potentially, can he get up here and make a 2-for-1 special? Can he send it 3 wide if he gets close enough in 3 and 4?
Aiden Anderson, he's still just trying out that bottom lane, trying to get around Jeff Stabnow. He gets off the corner very well, but Jeff just has kind of like exits, not even exit speed. He's very good in the center of the corner. Jeff has been probably the only driver I've seen get up so close to the outside wall off the corners. Now Caden finally clears it, but what a crossover move to the inside lane. Here comes Jeff saying he still wants some pieces to the inside. Battling there for that position as it goes on.
Working their way back to start finish now. Working lap number 53 on the board. It's Dan West Jr. still on in front, but they're not done yet. Stabnow making a run on the inside of Anderson. This all goes on with Stephen O'Hare. Who knows he's going to Homestead. Watching him go on the back straightaway, Jason.
Oh man, Jeff just slid right up in front of Stephen, though, down off turn number 2. Stephen did not like that, pulled right back down to the inside lane. He's going to try now to take away that position from Jeff Stabnow as they head into the dog legs, shooting it down low, coming back up to the wall. And here comes Paul Newton right behind them, trying to close the gap as they head into 2.
Yeah, if you were the 41 right there at Stephen O'Hare, you know you have yourself locked in to Homestead, Miami next week. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have shipped him as Sean Brightsman has a major, and I mean major incidents here on the front of that machine. That thing's smoking like a Marlboro. Fast repair taken, no tires. There he goes.
This is not good. A fast repair for one of the playoff contenders. And Sean Brightsman. Oh, my goodness. Let me check here, fellas. I'm looking at my points here. He is right there with Dan West Jr. in the number 7 seed. And now he gets his first string of bad luck. While that goes on, we're approaching lap number 56 completed. Dan West Jr., the man out in front. Stephen O'Hare now gets some company by Jeff Stabnow. This is for 5th. This happens again as they work their way to you on the back straightaway there, Jason.
Yeah, Jeff is still just trying to roll center way better than everybody else by going from that top down all the way to the bottom. He's just slipping and sliding everywhere. Those tires are definitely hurting right now for sure as they head back down to the start finish into the dog leg, back up to the wall. Jeff Stabnow probably just hanging on for dear life because he probably used up the tires so quickly on that last little stretch here since the restart as they head out of 2.
I want to point something out here for a second because the last green flag run we had, our race leader, Dan West Jr., he set sail. He hasn't necessarily set sail here. Yeah, he's got a 1.6, 1.7 second lead, but this field's kind of gapped itself back together. They made quick adjustments. If you look at Chris White right here, up 4 positions. Look at Devin West, up 6. They tweaked something. They made a slight adjustment, whether it was an offset, whether it was a spring adjustment, a tire pressure adjustment. They've done something to improve their trucks to put them 1, 2, 3 right here. And if I'm Dan West, you got to make something to find just a little bit more to go up here and potentially walk away even harder.
Yeah, I think Chris White right now is actually a little bit faster than Devin West right now. He's very good entering the corners, but on exit, Devin just kind of just gets the upper edge on him off the corners. And you see Caden Anderson, he's trying to get back into the mix. But right now, I really do believe that Chris White is faster than these guys. You know, maybe not so much Dan West Jr., but he's definitely the class of the field around that pack, you know, because he's right on the back bumper of Devin West. It's only a matter of time as the laps progress, and if these tires get any more wear on them, that I believe Chris White is going to be able to get past Devin West for that second spot.
60 laps into this race here now in Phoenix, and the penultimate race of the season, the final race of the round of 8, to lock in who will be the final 4 to join already Stephen O'Hare and Ryan Bloom. Dan West Jr., number 8 seed, he's right now your leader. Let's give the full field rundown. He is out in front. Devin West, his son, in second. Chris White sits in third. Caden Anderson fourth. Stefano Harris fifth. Jeff Stabnow sixth. Paul Newton seventh. And Tyler King Terry, the top 8.
You got Cole Raz in 10th, Kevin Smith in, or 9th, Kevin Smith in 10th, Aaron Cooper. You got Brett Johnson, John Ottenbach, Casey Garber, Troy Daggett, Toby Ritters round out your top 16.
And then 17th, you got Briar Reynolds, Frank Harris, 18th, 19th is Bryce Clark, 20th is Sean Brightsman. Big issues for him here tonight. He's going to need a miracle if he wants to advance into the next round. You got Ray Porter there in the 21st position, PJ Hidrick in 22nd, Gary Nichols in 23rd right now, who is currently out, and Chad Malik did not start tonight's race there in 24th and 25th, and that is your running order here at Phoenix.
And by the way, take a look at the race summary so far. In 65 laps of this race, on the bottom left, you'll see that pop up here. Race summary, 2 cautions, 8 caution laps, 3 lead changes as all Dan West Jr. in the early going after the change of the battles between Paul Newton and Kevin Smith in the early going after bouncing off the wall. Hey, let's rest our voice. Let's check out the roar. Feel the roar. The trucks, playoff style at Phoenix. Trouble on the front straightaway. We got one truck going, spinning around. Briar Reynolds again for the second time with a problem in truck number 12. So much for Phil the Roar. Caution coming out for the Chevrolet number 12. Old Glory on the Jack Daniels entry. We saw it lose it just at the start-finish line there, Terry. Coming down the back straightaway. You see it all break loose this time by for the number 12. And the second caution for the 12, the 4th caution of the race.
You'll see it here. He swings up, caught the wall, and around he goes right in front of Toby Ritters there in that 16th position. But this was a big break for the 46 of Sean Brightsman. He gets the free pass. So while everybody's not pitting here, if you're Sean Brightsman, you get this free pass. Come take that second set of tires. Try to make the best out of a bad situation and gain some positions here.
So the caution coming out for the drivers here on the racetrack. Again, this is the 4th yellow flag of the race. And I got to ask you, Jason, on the back straightaway, man, obviously it looks like it's been a lot of exciting passes and opportunities, but even blocks on that part of the racetrack, no doubt, what used to be the front straightaway. But as you said, when you reconfigure this racetrack, it makes you drive this track differently as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I talked about it earlier. You know, the restart zone is now what used to be the back straightaway out of turn 2, and now it's turn 4. You know, these guys, they got to get past the start-finish line, dive it down to that apron, or dog leg is what we call it, as fast as you can. Try to pick up as many spots as possible, then fan out all the way into the corner into turn number 1. I almost said 3, thinking of the old configuration for a second there. Had to bring myself back. But yeah, no, fanning it down into turn 1, got to be careful off 2, and then diving into 3. You know, you're just trying to hope that thing sticks on the bottom, don't slide up. Because I was trying to say earlier, I believe before we had an issue on the racetrack a couple cautions ago, turns 1 and 2, you can use every lane. Turns 3 and 4, it's primarily a bottom-fed racetrack, you know. I mean, there have been instances here in the past where, you know, in real life where they put some PJ1 or traction compound up top, but it hasn't really done all that much with the low downforce, high horsepower type packages. But that bottom side is just really dominant in 3 and 4. But 1 and 2, you can use up every single part of the racetrack. You can even use the very bottom right up against that inside wall like Kyle Busch did here a few years ago.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And obviously still a long way to go, Terry Radford. Been an exciting 70 laps so far here tonight at Phoenix.
Am I allowed to do some promo work here too?
Sure, go ahead.
So since we're on iRacing, if you're a fan of iRacing, it is the most wonderful time of the year. From now until December 1st, it's the Black Friday deal. For 1 year and 2 year renewals, it's 25% off. If you're a new customer to iRacing, this is the best time to jump on. It's 50% off all new subscriptions for iRacing. There's multiple discounts that come out throughout the year that comes through buying content, tracks, cars, whatever. The more you buy, the more you get off. 50% off new people, 25% off all 1 year, 2 years. For the entire, now through December 1st. It's a great time to be an iRacing person.
It's the most wonderful time. There you go. Black Friday iRacing. And by the way, if you'd like to become a member of iRacing, whether it's with the sanctioning leagues, groups, just having your own fun out here, getting the rigs and more, go to iRacing.com. And again, I've said this before. I'll come out of the closet with it. As long as I've been announcing iRacing since 2020, I do not have an iRacing account. It's just because of great people like Charles Wooten and the production people that I've worked with over the last 3 years that have allowed me to be able to find a way to call this action. And I find that grateful and humbling to everybody. So again, maybe one day, Terry, I will get iRacing. People beg me to get iRacing. Why don't you get you a racing rig or at least a steering wheel, Wesley, see what it's like. But I'm just happy being in the booth. I'm in my comfort zone as we go back to the green flag. Jason, battle for the restart now. As, of course, father is the leader, son behind. Hair and White coming after them off too.
Yeah, Stefan was able to get a really good restart, almost was able to get up to the second spot. He'll dive it into the corner, but have to use up the brakes. And here comes Tyler King in that 21. He's in the 5th spot battling with Chris White. That's for the 4th spot as they head into turn number 1 right now. They're all standing out as they head down to turn number 1.
You see him heading into 1 and 2 here. About to head on to 3 and 4. Shockingly enough, our guys that pitted, Caden Anderson's already back up to 7th, and he's starting to make moves pretty fast. This was a good strategy for the drivers that didn't pit to save that extra set of tires, banking on another caution to happen. As you see this right here, 3 wide. It's going to be here. Instead they fan back out to side by side, 2 wide between the 21 of Tyler King and 37 of Caden Anderson.
Otterbox, I think he meant Otterbox.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Jason. I was responding what Charles put in our broadcast chat box, and that was Totterbox. It's Otterbox. So his phone would not become a tater tot as we watch all this racing ensue back on the racetrack. And hey, by the way, let's rest our voices. Let's try this again for the 174th birthday of the U.S. Marine Corps. On lap 74, we salute you, military. Thank you. Thank you so much to the men and women that have served. Thank you to our veterans. Thank you for those that continue to serve, for those that have fallen to allow us to have the freedoms to enjoy what we're doing even on this night with computers and rigs and microphones and iRacing. Thank you for your service. Terry Radford, thank you for your service as well, buddy, as former military too.
Appreciate that. 7.5 long, drawn-out, painful years, but it was worth it. I followed my grandfather's footsteps. Both my grandfathers on my mom and my dad's side followed that one. My foster uncle followed his lead. He was in the Navy, and I got to serve this beautiful.
Oh no, Cole Raz! Cole Raz around in the 10.
And this is the most perfect break. This is the most perfect
was Briar
break.
Reynolds. Wow. That was Briar Reynolds, Terry, that just missed the 10, I was going to say, buddy. Sorry about that.
No, this is the most perfect break. This is what Dan West Jr. wanted and needed. He needed this because he was about to get passed by Cole Raz or by Keaton Anderson. He's on pit road. This was genius. All the people that stayed out was genius. You see Cole Raz, he's just going to get loose here. But absolutely genius.
Yeah, that was amazing right here. Look at
punted.
this move. Got punted by Chris White. White into Raz. Oh, did you see? Oh, wow. Jason, that was just so close for Brian Reynolds. That was the move of the night, the save of the night, the moment of the night as well.
Yeah, I mean, he got into the corner. I mean, he did make contact. He absolutely did make contact with him, but he did one heck of a job, though, saving it and making sure that he didn't go around head on into the wall.
This is on board with Chris White. As you see him down to the bottom, right there on the 10 of Raz. I think he might have had some ink and blink and nod. There's the punt. There's the send. Thank you for playing.
See, I don't think that was fully intentional there. I think that was a bit of misjudging. I think he misjudged the corner. I mean, that kind of happens here. These trucks.
Zone, yeah.
Depends on where you sit in your seat. Is also I kind of explained it to the fans. You have a thing where you can move up and down and change your view. If you're sitting lower down, whenever you're behind another truck, you can't see over that nose. And it makes it a little bit more difficult to judge where you're at. And I don't think he at all intended to hit him where he did, because I mean that was just that wasn't the right corner of that truck.
And Terry, it looked like from the replay, as I think we're going to see a lot of trucks coming onto the pit lane here, making pit stops as we just watched that transpire. Candid Anderson going to get the opportunity to come back to the lead here, but it did look like from the replay that the truck of White was having a little blink issues, and then he got into the 10 of Raz. So that could have been something that also transpired as well, for sure.
Yeah, it has its you have your connectivity issues where you have
Sure.
a packet loss, and obviously the packet loss for him was potentially missing that braking zone. I mean, we saw him in our replay. I mean, it cut out for a second, went back to him. By the time he got back, I mean, he didn't really realize where he probably was at. I'm sure the 10 of Cole Raz, when he went to get on the brakes to get down for the corner, it goes on both. He maybe kind of missed where it was at, but this it kind of stinks for the 10.
Well, it's probably close enough now as well. Actually, no, hold that off. Correction. We'll wait to halfway. We were going to try to do the midway race update, but they already got the lights off of the pace car, and they are getting ready to go back for the restart. It's again lap number 87. Lap 87. Lap 88 will be 87 laps to go, and that is the distance of this race as the field works their way back to the back straightaway. Pace car pulls in off turn 2. The field comes into the pit lane off turn 2 as they have reconfigured this racetrack, and I think it's finally awesome to see us using it on iRacing. This track has not disappointed. Wow! Didn't even get to the Geico restart zone. Are you friggin' serious? Caden Anderson took off before they got to the restart zone. Terry, could we be seeing a penalty on the 37?
Potentially. Depends on how the rules went for the league. The league sets the rules in iRacing. They set the rules based off their rule book for themselves. The leader cannot jump after or before the restart zone. They have to go in the restart zone determined by iRacing, if that's how the league sets it. I don't know what the rule was for them, but that was a very early jump. He did that on the initial start on Kevin Smith. Jumped the restart and I mean just had a massive lead, but he also knows that Devin West and Dan West Jr. have fresher tires than him, and they're going to come. He needed caution flags out.
Caution is out. Yellow flag. Auden Bunker.
Oh, John.
Good to see him back with us. Of course, he supported the race in the broadcast at Dover last week. The Billings, Montana driver who was actually at Phoenix for the championship race on vacation last weekend. And now Here we go. Raz and Audenbacher. Caution out. I think for the 6th time of this race. We watched him climb the hill. Jason, it happened in front of you, buddy.
Yeah, I believe. Oh, he just loses it again. Again, it's just you're getting back to the gas way too early, especially since if your right rear is going to be on that bottom seam. If for the folks watching at home, those little black lines right there on the racetrack, those are seams. They fill in parts of the racetrack with the asphalt, and it's very, very slick. It doesn't really help with grip like the asphalt, pavement, or concrete does. That's very slick, especially if you get your right rear on that. Off the corners, you could slip, you could slide. That's why you've seen so many issues off turn number 2 here tonight. And yet again, we have another driver, John Ottenbacher, going around off turn number 2.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you back inside the broadcast booth as we are at the mid-race report. LSRTV mid-race report here at the Phoenix Raceway as we're about 3 laps shy from halfway. That's our signal. Okay? Yeah, I know, but that's our signal. Okay, that's how we do it like that. You know, that's how we communicate on the broadcasts without people seeing it. Terry, I got flags in my car actually. Terry, you're taking this race so far. No doubt about it. It is not disappointed from Dover last week. This has been a very entertaining, and we thought it would be this way for the penultimate race of the season to decide who would be the final 4.
Yeah, this has been very entertaining. This has been more than what we saw. But since we shouted out, my mom shouted out, I don't like to be recognized. There was very few memories in my military career that I cared about. This was, if I can get it in front of the camera, BLC class 18009 at Fort Carson, Colorado. That's me holding the flag bearer right there. There I am, right there. Specialist Radford, back in 2018, 19, 18. And I graduated BLC with a lot of cool people, and I still keep in touch with at least 5 or 6 of them throughout the time. A lot of them became friends with me on Facebook, and I could tell you what. There's 2 things I learned in the military. D's get degrees, and you can always, count on your medic to give you an IV when you get too drunk.
There you go. Well, thank you for your service, hands down. This race has been. I'm still worried. I'm wondering if they're going to penalize Caden Anderson on this restart. Man, I don't think they're not. I guess it's fair game. Jason, can you elaborate or give us any more on this as we get ready for the restart, buddy?
I mean, so far, I don't believe that they're actually going to penalize Caden Anderson. I mean, he's still leading right now. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, if I was the one running the league, I would have said Geico restart zone all the way, especially since iRacing just implemented this a while back. But I mean, that's the rule. The rule is, Terry didn't say, but the rule is too on iRacing. It used to be once the pace car hits the pit road line, the leader was allowed to go, and he does it again right
and
here.
He does it again.
Gone, son.
He does it again. And this is way before they get to the Geico restart zone as we continue our mid-race report, and they go back under the green flag here as we are approaching halfway. But honestly, Terry Radford, the best way to paint a picture in radio for those listening on CRN, the Community Radio Network, on the restart is basically he fires down the back straightaway going to turn 3 like a World of Outlaw or All-Star Circuit of Champions sprint car does when they fire in turn 3 before they get to 4 up the box.
That's absolutely perfect. So obviously everybody knows that the restart zone's in the bend going into turns or going out of 3 and 4. The caution flag is back out. That's
yellow
the 27.
flag. I think this is Newton. This is your pick. Paul Newton. Jason in trouble.
Dang it.
Wow.
But for the restart there, he doesn't want to go in the bend. He wants to go when it's straight. And Jason's absolutely right. The rule originally was on iRacing was the pace car pulls down, you fire, but the pace car has to touch the commitment line. He waited. I mean, halfway through pit road, decided to go. That might be the win and move if he gets a late race caution and he takes off like that because
everybody needs to take note of what he just did, though.
Yeah.
If you're going to be the
And
leader
go
on
with
this
him.
on these next few restarts, if they do happen,
They're going to watch it.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely.
But he also
Yeah, I
changed
think
his
so,
mark,
too.
Jason. He changed his mark. The original time he jumped about 4
Between
feet from
3
the
and 4.
restart zone.
Yes.
But the restart there, he dropped 50 feet before the restart zone on the middle of the back straightaway and took off. So it's kind of hard to judge. He's kind of throwing him for a loop because if he has the lead with 3 to go and he jumps 12 feet before the start and finish line or 10 feet, somebody's going to get a penalty and go to the end of the line because they're going to jump him halfway down the
He
back.
might change his lane. He's changing his lane before he even gets to the before he even gets to the start line. I mean, he's jumping and firing off at a turn 2 right when the pace car does touch the commitment line, and out of 4, he's already up to the wall and then diving it back down.
No doubt about it. It is certainly a Hail Mary strategy as we are right now under the yellow flag. Let's go to a quick break. We'll come back as we get you set for the second half under caution again at Phoenix when we return.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish line. Yeah, get that ugly man off the screen. We're back to green here at Phoenix. And we're on the restart as we're approaching 100 laps, second half of this race underway. Jason, they're back heading towards you. Caden Anderson, though, another controversial but legal restart. The 37 pulls away.
Yeah, and this time Tyler King is right behind him. He's got a cluster of cars right back behind him. Back to that restart right there. So we were just informed under that break that Caden Anderson is allowed to do that. What he's been doing. Oh, Kevin Smith! Kevin Smith's around! Oh, my
Kevin
goodness.
Smith, Devin West. They get together. Kevin Smith, my pick to try to be a contender for the playoffs. Caution out again there, Terry. Jason.
I don't know if he thought he was clear or not. I was sitting here watching and I was talking. You see, he is really loose there off turn number 2. I think, honestly, Kevin came right down on the 5. I don't know. I mean, I could be totally wrong. We're going to see here, folks. You see Devin. He's going to the bottom right now. Kevin Smith, they're 3 wide. Oh, and the 5 just comes up. So never mind.
No.
Forget what I said. I thought Kevin came down on him at first. Turns out, I mean, but what a save, though, by Kevin. He didn't spin out. That's going to hurt his tires a little bit, though. But, wow, if you're Devin West, you really got to sit here and think to yourself if there's a car on the outside there. I mean, great job by Kevin Smith saving it, though. But you know, heads up driving to both of those drivers.
And, Terry, mind you, Kevin Smith is the number 4 seed who would transfer by points if he can't get in by a win. But obviously, you don't need things like that happening to the Walla Walla Washington driver, the 00.
Well, I'm not saying that was a blessing in disguise. That was definitely a blessing in disguise because he's the only one who's coming down pit lane. He'll have the freshest tires on the racetrack. I mean, you got Tyler Kingston up here. His last time pitting was like 38. 67 for Caden Anderson. 78 for Dan West. 79 for Raz. Stabnow, all in the 70s. He's going to pit on lap 96. So if there was a silver lining that we could put in this, is he might have been the caution. He didn't hit anything. He scuffed his tires, but he's going to put 4 fresh ones on it. He still had a fast repair too. He's going to go 78 laps with the freshest tires. So I'll take that any day of the week.
Well, hey, little promotion from our buddy Jason Rockefeller. What you got for us, buddy? What's coming up in your life?
Well, just announced recently, I decided to get together with Terry, talked it over, been wanting to do this now for a while. Had an idea, sitting here thinking to myself, man, I should do an iRacing event. It'd be something cool to do. So on December 3rd,
yes.
December 3rd, 2022, hopefully we can get enough people, minimum quota, 25 drivers at least. We got a few signed up right now. I think about 2 to 3 drivers, some others who are interested. But December 3rd, 2022, 9 p.m. Eastern, the 2022 iRacing Toys for Tots shootout on LSRTV. $10 entry fee. I'm gonna put my Twitter here in the comment section on the live stream for anybody who wants to go and view it. $10 entry fee, all going towards a great cause to my local Toys for Tots charity. Minus 10% of the entry fees go towards the race winner. But everything from donations to, besides the 10% entry fee winnings, everything's going to my local Red Bank, New Jersey Toys for Tots. Me and my sister both we didn't have a Christmas, in a sense. We didn't exactly have the funds. My mother didn't. So people donated to us that year, and I was really thankful for that. It meant a lot to see that people really cared about us. Very humble moment for me in my life, so I want to try to give back to everybody. So if you're interested, go to my Twitter. I'll drop it down here in the comments in just a second. 2022 Toys for Tots shootout. Come race for a great cause. $10 entry fee. It'll be on my Twitter. Just look at the signups and go to the Google Doc. It'll tell you all about it.
There you go. Thank you very much. And looking forward to possibly being a part of that event, as I will be at the 55th Snowball Derby in Pensacola, Florida. That's December the 1st through the 4th. And I think I did an iRacing broadcast a couple of years ago with LSRTV when I was down at the Derby, but it was just such a busy event that if we can get some opportunities for some other people to be able to have a chance to work the event. Contact, Raz bounces off the left rear of the number 55 of Dan West Jr. and Cole Raz is crashing.
We got a wreck, yeah. That's Raz. Oh.
And now
we're dagging, I think.
Trucks also. Other trucks involved. Caution is out. My oh my, Terry, when it rains, it pours, brother. Jesus, man, wow.
Yeah, they were side by side here, and I'm not sure if Cole Raz washed up here or if the 55 went down, but they just kind of made contact, and the 5 was in it, and then bam.
That's Daggett. That's Ray Fournier. Daggett, Fournier involved. My, oh my, another yellow flag. Well, this race definitely not disappointing in any shape or form, as we are actually on lap 175 laps to go. Let's look at the summary of the race so far. Just after halfway, about 12 laps to go. Do your job, Charles. 8 cautions, 29 caution laps, and 4 lead. Ice cream! There you go. 4 lead changes of this race so far. So Yeah. By the way, weather conditions. Since Charles mentioned 65 degrees in the production studio in Texas. Let's see the bottom right. There you go. 75 air temp. Sim speed wind at 7 miles an hour. Track temp at 72. Partly cloudy conditions. Nice cool night virtually, Terry, for a race. Yes. It's not sun. It's nighttime.
It's a great.
There you
it's a
go.
Great
I was about to say,
time
what the hell's the
here.
sun out there for?
It's chilly in my room, so I've got my hoodie on. I'm also tired. This is race number 3. And this becomes the latest one.
But we love what we do. Woo. Ah, there you go.
Right.
What
So we
what
were
car and track is the Toys for Tots race, Jason? People are asking in the chat box.
Like
buddy.
I said, if you go to my Twitter handle, jrock_912, it's in there. You can go and look at it. But for anybody wondering, it's a fixed setup. Talladega, Xfinity Series cars, 85 laps. Everything is right there in the Google Doc. It'll tell you how to enter, how to register, information, rules, etc. There's a Google Doc form you can look at. There's the Google Doc you can look at for everything and info. There's the Google form that needs to be filled out, and obviously there's the PayPal link to the LSRTV Toys for Tots PayPal account.
Yes.
Like I said, $10 minimum entry fee if you want to enter. Everything is right there in that Google Doc. So just go read it, enter, trying to get 25 people so we make this happen, trying to make some kids' Christmases brighter around my area. Would really like to help out. You'd be helping out for a great cause. Would very much appreciate. Shout it out, whatever you got to do. Appreciate everybody for sign up so far and everybody who's helped me out so far. Form it like Terry Radford, LSR TV, everybody who's given me the opportunity. But yeah,
well, you
get
a chance to race with me. I think that should be our marquee ticket. You get a chance to wreck the guy who talks a whole lot of trash about how people race. You get to come wreck me. Come race. Come have a good time. I'm going to win the dang thing, so it doesn't matter. Wesley's going to call me to a win.
Restarts, coming back, and they're going to follow this one. Oh, man, you see it? He did it again. Anderson, green flag. Did he change
his lane, though? No, he didn't.
He didn't change his lane. He stayed to the inside, and we are back to the restart. Boy, that is a crazy strategy that we're seeing him do with 70 laps to go. Jason, off turn 2, buddy.
Yeah, that's a really big advantage for Caden Anderson. If I were any of these guys, if there is another restart, which we've been seeing breeding cautions throughout the rest of the night here with just less than 75 to go. If I was Dan West Jr., you've been so fast here tonight. You know Caden Anderson is right there. He almost passed you earlier. You know you're faster than him. If another restart does happen, though, you have to be on it. These guys are pretty much sleeping when Caden Anderson jumps into that restart zone. These guys really got to be on it here as we're on lap 105 off turn number 2.
Yeah, lap number 105, 70 laps to go, and Terry again. I think we're going to see business pick up here. They've turned up the wick. They know that time's running out, especially if you're one of the drivers at the bottom. Frank Harris, did he save it? Yes, he did. No caution. Wow.
Well, no, he didn't save it.
Dang it. Correction, I stand corrected. Dang it, and Harris did,
it was below the racing line. But I want to point something out that's super interesting right now. Caden Anderson on the restart lap, he set his personal best at 26.92. Wow. But now he pulled away for a slight second. But after 2 laps, Dan West Jr. back on top of being 0.2 faster than the field again. I want whatever setup he's running at Phoenix.
Understanding Raz is coming to the pit lane. 10 on the pit lane. We stay green. Boy, oh boy.
Been one heck of a night so far, for sure. we've seen so much chaos here late in the race. I mean, Caden Anderson, though, he's continuing to lead. But you were talking about it. Caden Anderson ran his fastest lap time. And Dan West Jr., when you were talking about it, he ran, I believe it was a 27.9 28.98. So he was pretty much up there. Dan West is starting to close in on Anderson. It's going to be interesting to see, though, if Dan can pass him, because it's one thing to get to a driver, it's another to pass him.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we'll certainly keep an eye on that as all this is transpiring yet again. Lap number 110, they come back around. And look at Jeff Stabnow up to third spot now. I'll tell you what, Terry, we know he's not in the run for a championship for the Truck Series. However, though there's a fixed and open setup on the two different programs for the Northwest, he can use this opportunity, Terry, to figure this track out, to try to get another win like he did at Kentucky to put him in the playoffs, to keep him in the championship for the race next week in Phoenix to go to Homestead of the 24 out of Billings, Montana.
Yeah, there's a ton that you can learn just by the racetrack. Turning laps, and regardless of what the car, as Chris White jumps down to the bottom, I want to give a nod right there to the man sitting in 5th place. Caught the inside wall, went a lap down at one point in time, caught the lucky caution that he needed as they're side by side between the 47 and the 24. But Sean Brightman's in this fight in that 46 machine. That Toyota has caught every break possible, looking to take it 3 wide right here with his teammate. And you could enter him into the fray. Can he go up here and challenge the 55 of Dan West Jr. for this win?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we just talked about it before. I said it right when it happened, when you were talking about him getting the free pass. I think it was even beforehand. Sean Brightsman, like you said, was all those things. Here he is sitting P4 right now. He needs a miracle. And if Caden Anderson probably loses that race lead to Dan West, you know Dan's going to restart normally more than likely. He doesn't want to restart like Caden Anderson if they were to get another restart and he were to take away the lead. Count Sean Brightsman in. He needs a win just as bad as Dan West Jr. The question is what would he do for a ticket to Homestead here? But the laps are winding down, though. He's going to need a little bit more, Wesley, if he wants to try to make this championship 4.
No doubt about it, buddy. What would you do? Yes, right now we watch on the big screen the race, and there's Cole Raz, Paul Newton, John Ottenbacher having another race amongst themselves, and that is in the top 10. Kevin Smith outside in 11th, trying to come back and rally. By the way, Raz on racetrack in the number 10 in that battle on that small screen to the bottom right. He is the first truck 1 lap down. If the yellow flag was to come out, he would get the free pass. Anderson, Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow, Sean Brightsman, Chris White, the top 5. Brett Johnson, Aaron Cooper, Toby Ritters on lap 115 as we give you another fulfilled rundown.
See Paul Newton back there in the 9th place position with John Ottenbacher in 10th. Kevin Smith, King, O'Hare, West, and Casey Garber, top 15, Jason.
And you got Ray Horner right there in 16th, Frank Harris, 17th, Troy Daggett, 18th, and then you head to the cars that are laps down. You got Cole Raz hoping to get himself back on the lead lap after some controversy. He's in 19th with Bryce Clark there in 20th, Ryan Reynolds 21st, PJ Kidrick 22nd, Gary Nichols in 23rd, along with Chad Malik and James Viney, who did not start the race there, 24th and 25th. And that's your running order right now in the Northwest Truck Series at Phoenix.
The penultimate race for the Northwest Racing Series, as you see a little virtual shot of Rattlesnake Hill from the virtual Avondale, Arizona mountains on iRacing. And this battles continue on as we're moving into the crosshairs now of what would be the final 50, over 50 laps to go. 58 laps remaining. Along with Terry Radford, Jason Rockefeller, I am Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten, Jeff Stabnow on the production for iRacing on LSRTV, Rocket Media, and simulcast on the Community Radio Network. On the bottom, there goes Kevin Smith trying to get to Ottenbacher to the inside. trying to make that run there. Jason on the back straightaway to move to the number 10 position. Every spot counts as he works his way to make the final 4.
Yeah, he's slipping and sliding right now, just trying to get past Oddbacher. Both those drivers had an incident here tonight. So did Paul Newton. Everybody seems to have had an incident here tonight. But as they fan out now down the front stretch, 3 wide into the dogleg, you got Smith up top, Ottbacher in the middle, and here comes Paul Newton to the bottom of the racetrack. They're side by side as they work their way off to Terry.
Yeah, they're side by side here off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway, looking to go 3 wide. They think twice about that one. The 41 stays tucked in line right here. John goes to the outside. He's sitting in 12th. Remember, Cole Raz right here on that 10 machine. He's not fighting for position. He's fighting to stay 1 lap down. So he don't want to go any more down. He needs a caution to come out, but he does not need to be the caution. Is what he's looking for right here.
Raz again back on the lead lap. Nope, correction, just updated, 1 lap down. So if the yellow flag was to come out, as long as he is not the part of the caution, he would get the free pass to put him back on the lead lap. And Jason, as they work their way back to you off the dog leg in 2, he's got a pretty darn good, strong car truck as well. Don't count out that 10 out. If he gets a yellow flag, he's in business.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, I mean, Sean Breitzman, he's just sitting there in 3rd. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, if he gets a yellow and Dan West were to retake this lead, because like I said, Dan West is more than likely going to restart in a normal Geico restart zone in quotations kind of way compared to what Hayden Anderson's been doing. But Dan's not as fast right now as Anderson. But if Breitzman were to get that opportunity, he is going to try everything. Said it before, what would you do to punch your ticket to the round of 4 at Homestead? Here he is right now, sitting 3rd, which was at one point 1 lap down, all the way outside, pretty much the top 18. Sean Breitzman trying to not become a bridesmaid. He is trying to be the groom here today at Phoenix. Can he get it done, though, as they work off 2, Terry?
Terry, hang on a second. One of the things that I was going to say as we approach 50 laps to go, as I just looked at my scoring ticker and monitor, you've got Dan West Jr., number 8 seed, number 7 seed, Sean Breitzman. They are number 2 and 3 on the racetrack, and they are in better position ahead of Paul Newton. Dennis Moore is absent, Kevin Smith is in 10th, and Tyler King is in 11th. Could those 2 trucks be able to punch their ticket with the positions counting on the racetrack that they're at right now with 50 to go, Terry?
My math's not the best. My answer to everything is win. I'm shocked that the 55 didn't pass the 37. 11 lap pressure tires, has been the fastest driver in the field, but he's slower than Caden Anderson every single lap. It was a 27.8 when they came across the line last time. It's a 28.0 to a 27.9. So consistency is in the court of the 55. But can he reel him in and make the pass is going to be the question.
Should be fun. Should be fun. Jason, what are you thinking, buddy? Under 50 to go now.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, right now, Dan West Jr. needs to try to pull something out of a hat right now. He's trying, it looks like, just hardest. I mean, that time by, he was faster by about 0.06 of a second. And here he is trying to reel in Hayden Anderson, but now the gap is over a second. But it's flirting right now with below a second. Now it's a second, and it's not. He needs to just keep the tires on it. Hayden is a very aggressive driver from what we know here in the Northwest Series. He's leading. He's got his head in check. He knows that he's really fast, but Dan West knows that he's been the fastest driver here all night besides Caden. If there's anybody who's going to be able to beat that 37, it's Dan West Jr. And if not them, then Sean Breitzman. But right now, Dan West Jr. just needs to keep himself cool, not lose it like he almost did there off 2. That's going to cost him a little bit of time off turn 2. But if I were Dan West Jr., just try to keep yourself in check, stay calm, hope for a yellow possibly.
Closing in on 45 laps to go. We're going to go side by side so you do not miss a thing. Our final commercial break to the checkered flag. We're also at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification. The playoffs from Phoenix on the Community Radio Network. We're back in a moment to take you to the checker flag.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. And by the way, don't forget Finish Line live from the 30th South Carolina Charlie Powell Memorial 400. Terry Radford, myself, David Rogers, people with NASCAR roots. Also, from Flow Racing for the broadcast coverage, we will have whole bunches of cool stuff. Terry, you ready to go to Florence next week, buddy? And are we ready to settle this race with 40 to go?
Well, as excited as I am for Florence next week, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for tonight to wrap up. I'm excited for Monday. I'm excited to finish the Northwest Truck Series from Florence. To put it all out there, we got two races that we're going to call side by side. My first experience calling a race to somebody, and all I got to do is go, Wesley, it's your turn. Just tap you on the leg. Hey, look at that.
Smack me upside the head. Shut up, I'm calling the race. No, it'll be fun. And by the way, I believe that Jason and Tim will be joining us at the broadcast, a four-man crew. Better get your cameras ready, Charles. Four-man broadcast crew to close out the season. Yeah, we talked, I think, yeah.
I like how our producer said it's the first time he's hearing it, but he literally said it to us in our ear Monday night.
Yes, exactly.
Like in our ear, he said it to both of us.
He had a bad day. I don't know. He had a bad day. He doesn't listen. Okay, never mind. I'm not listening to you anymore, Charles. You're messing up the flow of conversation between. Whoa, wow. Did Raz just hit the wall? Oh, well.
He never listens to himself or us, but he clearly set a four-man booth for Thursday
and for Monday for the finale at Homestead. Yes, he did. Yep.
Yeah, way to go.
By the way, hopefully Justin Prince can join us next Monday night. We missed him the last couple of weeks. He's not been feeling well. Hopefully he's back with us. And we got plans for the winter time. Got all sorts of cool ideas. Does it? Whoa, look at Stab now.
Loose.
They're tracking it there off the corner. Well, as our producer eats pickles, Jason, we're ready to decide who's going to play pickle with each other on the racetrack. Pardon the pun.
I mean, Jeff Stabnow, we just had a truck get in the wall right there. Brett Johnson just smacked the wall off turn 2. He's all right, though. That's going to be a lot of damage to his truck. And here comes Devin West.
Wow.
He's in wonder if this could be strategy, but I don't think so. He's got some right front damage to that truck. Wonder if possibly he's got something with his RPMs maybe. You can see there the right side's a little bit wrinkled in. Not too sure there.
Could we be seeing green flag pit stops for the race? For the first time tonight, do you think?
that is definitely a
Undercut?
Terry type question.
Listen,
Terry, are we seeing money stops here, buddy? What's up, brother?
Yeah, I'm all for it. Caden Anderson, I don't believe can make it on fuel. He pitted on lap 67. I think if you and man, because here comes Stab now. Sean Breitzman, barring a caution, 85 laps if he can make it.
Wow.
I think he can make it 85 laps. I'm going money stop Sean Breitzman. If we stay green, he stays on this racetrack.
And that will put the number 7 seed into the playoffs with a win. Here comes Jeff Stab now. Money stops, green flag, pit stops. This really has totally threw a monkey wrench in the entire event as we close in on under 30 laps to go now, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys just said are just trying to pit right now. I mean, the only person who I could think that might be able to possibly make it looks to be possibly maybe Tyler King, but I don't even think so. I honestly don't even think any of these guys are going to be able to make it to the end. I'm looking at the pit laps here. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to make it to the end. But, I mean, this opens up the door for strategy. Do you want to try to pit earlier than some of those leaders up front? I mean, Caden Anderson, Dan West Jr., and Sean Breitzman. Those are your top 3, your podium guys. Who is going to fold first and come to pit road? So we'll have to see who's – oh, here we go. Never mind. It's always when I'm talking. Here comes Dan West Jr. to pit. Now, when is Sean Breitzman and Caden Anderson going to pit?
Our producer wants to chime in. Charles, what are you thinking as we approach 30 to go at Phoenix?
You know, this is going to be the kind of stuff you hear behind the scenes. The good old fans out there to get to hear it now. We have Jason here. He thinks nobody can make it. We have in the other corner Terry, who thinks somebody can make it. So you're the ref, Wesley. I want you to put on a shirt, and I want these two to fight a clean fight and duke it out. Who's going to win? Do they pit? Do they not pit?
Listen.
All right, put your hands up. Protect yourselves at all times.
I'll make my case real quick with Breitzman. The officials all week long here at Phoenix, the numbers were that you could make a potential run at it, that you could run about, and I say about 84 to 85 laps on fuel. Now tires is totally different. Tires we're gonna see him fall off pace wise, but you got to remember when he pitted, there was more caution laps too. So you had people who pitted on lap 100. We had a couple caution laps that preceded him pitting. He was able to save a little bit. That Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare, Casey Garber, Kevin Smith, Troy Daggett, those drivers could potentially make it. Those drivers who pitted on lap 90 might have been the ticket and the key as Chris White comes in here and Aaron Cooper's in as well. That might have been the ticket to winning this race.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as right now all of these drivers work their way back to the start-finish line after they pit from the back straightaway. Green flag pit stops, and this has just threw a monkey wrench in the entire complexion of the race. Now 7 trucks on the lead lap. Check that, make it 8 as they're all pitting. Chris White still in the pit lane. And I got to wonder, is something wrong with Devin West, Jason? Have you got an update for us? There's got to be more of a problem on the 5 than what we thought.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I believe personally, I think he's hit the wall enough. I think that he's probably got some RPM damage for sure. But we'll have to find out. And here comes Anderson. Anderson's in the pit now. What's Sean Breitzman going to do?
Now remember, Perry said Sean Breitzman could be the walk-off. He's the guy to watch as we approach 25 laps to go. Terry, Jason, I know you're new to the Northwest broadcast booth, but Charles, I want to bring you in here real quickly, Mr. Producer / announcer extraordinaire. You have seen, you have called, you have produced many races where Sean Breitzman, originally from Puyallup, Washington, 2020 Northwest Cup champion, and now residing from Tucson, Arizona, just down the road from Phoenix, has pulled crazy rabbits out of a hat. Bold strategies to try to win races just like this.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. You remember a couple of years ago, I bet Terry remember this, and probably Jason and yourself, where you had Rocket Man Ryan Newman, who somehow managed to just like squeeze extra gas out of a car that no one else had.
Yep.
That's Sean Brightsman.
That's right.
Yep.
That is Sean Brightsman. That's exactly right. That's the best way, Terry Radford, to describe what he can do as we were about to come up on over 20 laps to go here at Phoenix.
Well, Jason, let's have a conversation for a second, because fuel mileage it's kind of a tough point for me, because Brightsman is saving still. Can we get an onboard shot with Brightsman real quick? Because I saw something out of his truck that he's doing. Listen to his throttle.
He's conserving.
Listen,
he's conserving.
Clutch.
Yeah.
He's clutched. That's the clutch that just got engaged right here. So he clutched. He let off. No brake. He's not using any brake is his point. So look at his gear. He shifted to third. That saves the tires.
And that was
clutch.
Anderson.
Here we go.
Yep.
There's his clutch. There's Brightsman. He'll clutch it. No brake. You do not want to break this, Jason. Just watch. It's getting crazier. Tyler King back there too. There's a lot, Jason, that's going to happen here in these next 25 laps.
Yeah, they're sure as heck can be. I mean, Caden Anderson, Jeff Stabno, Cole Rash just got back on the lead lap. I mean, as much as I would like to see Sean Brightsman trying to pull something out of his hat, I just personally just see him clutch it, turn off the truck basically again. He's not even turning it off. He's just He's just holding the clutch in the corners.
Yeah,
I don't believe, though, that he's going to be able to make it. I mean, Caden Anderson is on fresh tires, fuel. I just can't see Sean
Caden Anderson has
out doing this.
Caden Anderson just blew by Sean Brightsman. He's got a whole lap to run him back down. Around
He's got to get that's Dan West Jr.
Jason.
Dan West Jr. passed him. The 55's ahead of him now in 8th.
I don't
The
know.
top
This is
9
just going to be one
trucks are on the
crazy
lead
finish.
lap. The top 9 trucks are on the lead lap as we go to 20 laps to go here at Phoenix. And as I told you, Terry and Jason, if there's any rambling, grambling, hail melon of the Northwest, it has got to be Sean Brightsman. The bazooka will pull the trigger. He will do any type of strategy, any type of rabbit out of a hat, place his chips on the line when nobody else will even take an opportunity to. He is the Evel Knievel of the Northwest, and he will do whatever he can do here to put himself, Terry, in a run for a championship. It's sink or swim now for the 46 Brights Boutique Chevrolet, as I believe he is going to roll the dice, the Toyota wheel, to try to make it into the championship 4. I know it's not a walk-off, but it is a number 7 seed, a penultimate to the bottom seed to make it in to the championship 4 to join Stefan O'Hare and Ryan Bloom.
I mean, not to sound like I'm down in Brightsman. I said from the start, you can't count Dan West or Sean Brightsman out. I didn't pick him to win. I didn't think he had the speed in practice. He did not have the speed in qualifying. He didn't have the speed in the race. He wrecked at one point. Let's not forget this. He was our first caution of the night. He used his fast repair quicker than, or not a caution, he wrecked, went a lap down, got the caution, gets the wave around, and then comes back. He did not have the speed. He set top 5, but he was on fresher tires in the field, Jason. And now here he is. He had no other choice but to play this strategy.
Yeah, I mean, he has to throw a Hail Mary in a sense. I mean, you said it before, he went a lap down, and now he's leading. I mean, you're just hoping.
Whoa, trouble! Kevin Smith spins in the back straightaway, guys.
He didn't need
Caution's
that.
out. This
As I was literally
changes
just going to say.
everything.
I was literally just going to say that Sean Brightsman does not want a caution, and we got one. This changes absolutely everything.
Changes everything. 0-0. Kevin Smith, Click It RV, Ford. Looked like he just kind of overshot up into the, well, looked like he was dirt tracking it there, Jason, off that corner, off the dog leg, and he lost control. Into the wall. No, but he saved it. Then he slammed into the safer barrier on the inside. Heavy damage on the toe end and the suspension on the left front of the 0-0. And that might be the end of the night for him.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not a mic. That is. That for sure is the end of the double
Brightsman's in.
zeros. Yep, here he goes. I mean, he has to. He has no choice.
He had no choice.
But
Yeah.
here's the good thing.
And here comes
about it.
others behind him.
Yeah, but here's the good thing about it, for him at least. Yes, there's only so many guys that, are on the lead lap. So he's not going to, restart far back. There's going to be only about like 4 or 5 drivers that did not hit that were on the lead lap. So he's going to be up there on fresher tires. But, I mean, Caden Anderson's going to be your race leader, I believe. So we all know what's probably going to happen out of him. I mean, this race could go south. This could go straight forward to playing into Caden Anderson's hands. It's very unfortunate, though, that Sean Brightsman caught a caution at the wrong time because he looked to be playing a strategy that nobody thought of. Only time's going to tell, though, is we have 14 laps to go.
Somebody cue up the ring bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Well, hold on
Referee,
here.
real quickly. Charles, what you got, brother?
Well, first, go ahead, Terry. Say what you got to say.
Okay. So let's talk tire for a second. Caden Anderson pitted on lap 149.
Can we bring Terry in on tire talk? Let's go to tire talk on the broadcast. Let's do it. Get your tire ready. We love tire talk. We like Terry's tire talk here.
I might bring the tire with me to Florence.
Oh my God.
Okay. Listen, mullet intact. Caden Anderson,
go ahead, brother.
And Dan West Jr. are on used tires. Everybody else behind them is on new, except for the ones that just took that wave around. The ones that took the wave around right there, they're on old tires too. Caden Anderson still has a shot of losing this race. Dan West still has a shot of losing it. Brightsman, Newton, King, Garber, O'Hare, Troy Daggett. Freshest tires on the field. It's a 2-second game for him.
What is the cliche called? Bring a knife to a gunfight is what we're about to just see, right? Sitting ducks lie. Because when these trucks get the green, Jason Rockefeller, these tires are going to be spinning and grinning and roaring to the front, no doubt, for the drivers that just took on new 4 sides of rubber. Like Terry.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely have more tire. I mean, but we, besides the tires, we keep talking about Caden Anderson. Caden Anderson's going to be leading this race when we take the green flag. He is more than likely going to restart like he's been doing all night from the race lead. He is going to absolutely jump the restart, but it's legal as long as he doesn't change his line before the start-finish line. Once the pace car hits that commitment line, Caden Anderson is free to go whenever he wants, wherever he wants, as long as it's before the restart zone. So if I were Caden Anderson, make sure you get a great restart. But if you're Sean Brightsman, you're on fresh tires, be on it. Be right on the back bumper of the 37. Get ready to have the restart of your life.
Remember, Paul Newton also pitted. We're ready. I think Sean Brightsman is going to be right up under the back of that 37 of Caden Anderson. We know that Anderson's got to fire first. The question is, when will he go and try to catch everybody else asleep at the wheel? Will he take it all the way? Right there to turn 3. That's where he fires. Back
but
inside
Brightsman
turn
got a start.
4. Yes, he did. To the line. 11 to go at Phoenix. 2 spots for
Brightsman's
the playoff
there.
Championship 4. Brightsman to the lead, going to the dog leg. Jason in turn 1.
Yeah, Brightsman, he got a really good restart being on those pressure tires. He's to the inside. He's loose over the corner.
Oh,
there goes
trouble.
the 41 of O'Hare. He's around. The caution comes out, and we'll have another restart here at Phoenix.
One of the drivers that is all or nothing already in the championship 4 for Homestead next Thursday for championship goes around. And the caution out again. Jason, you saw it break loose in the back straightaway on the restart with 11 to go.
I mean, yeah, they were coming off the corner. Sean Brightsman was able to close in on Caden Anderson so quickly because of those fresher tires. It was crazy to see here as we get ready to look at the race replay. I mean, it's crazy to think, though, that he almost did get him off the corner. But unfortunately, the 41 went around. That was Stephen O'Hare. We're going to take a look here at the race replay again for the folks watching at home and the folks listening. Caden Anderson down the back straightaway into turn 3, fires off. And Brightsman is right behind him, and then all of a sudden closes it because I think Hayden got loose out of turn 4 once he got to the line. Brightsman gets the run. He'll head down to the bottom on him into turn 1, and this is where the 41 will play a factor. He's about 3-5 truck lengths back behind them. He gets loose on the bottom of the racetrack on that seam like I've been talking about. Spins out. Thankfully, nobody else is involved.
Terry, did you just see how loose the 46 of Brightsman was coming off of that second turn? Man, I just caught that on the replay.
Yeah, but he got saved. He got saved by the caution because Dan West Jr. was to his outside. But now if you're Caden Anderson, right, you waited, got about 20 feet away from the restart zone into the corner and went. Now with Brightsman to your outside and Dan West Jr. to your inside, now you have to go either a little bit earlier, just a tad bit later. You have to time it perfectly. But if I'm Sean Brightsman, I'm hanging on the quarter panel. I'm lagging back on this start because I want to hear your motor. I want to hear something just go. The moment I hear you start to pull that throttle a little bit more, I'm gunning it. Hopefully he's listening because the moment I even remotely see that truck start to jump, gone. Second gear, roll it.
Well, no doubt about it. It is about to be go time here, and it is time to settle it. By the way, we mentioned it. There is extra innings if need be. There can be sudden death and 2 attempts as an overtime. If we go past the regular scheduled distance, they can slug it out for another 2 attempts at a green-white checker. And Terry Radford, would you have it any other way, brother?
No. No, not at all. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Coming off of Dover, I'm not criticizing the Northwest Cup Series or Truck Series.
No, it was crickets. It was crickets.
Boring races. Very boring. Not fun at all. Was not entertained. I almost fell asleep. You almost fell asleep. Charles almost fell asleep.
No, I did not.
I wanted to see excitement tonight. Well, I'm just telling the truth. I'll say it out loud. I was tired. I wanted to go to bed. We normally have a post-race meeting where we sit here and shoot the bull for a little bit. We didn't even do that. We was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. Like I'm leaving. I wanted to see some fire tonight, and we've seen some fire. And I tell you one thing. I think we're about to see the old boot scooting boogie. Somebody's getting sent.
Bump and run. Settling in here. Pace car is on the pit lane, and they are 2 by 2. Caden Anderson, when will he fire? Now he'll go. Brightsman read it. He's right there with him as they settle into turn number 3. It's all fair and legal. Don't even worry about the Geico restart zone. It's just there for visual effects. 7 to go here. 6 remaining as they work their way to you, Jason, at Phoenix for a shootout. We're taking 2. That'll join 2 for a championship. We're wrecking. Oh, we're crashing again, guys. Oh, my. No yellow flag, though. No caution.
No yellow for now. I wonder if that's going to be a yellow, though. That was a lot of trucks, and that wasn't just a little bit. That was a lot. But you see, oh, there goes the 21. There goes Tyler King. He's around, but it's off the racing surface. He stayed green for now. Sean Bright
5 to go.
Closing in on Anderson. Here they come out of 2. Will Sean Brightsman get him? Here he comes off 2. He's loose. He's to the bumper. He's in the wall. Terry's ahead to 3.
In the wall, but who cares? He's still 0.4 of a second back. Now make it 5. He still has chances to make. He made it there in 3 and 4. They get to the line. He's all in the tire tracks of the 47 of Caden Anderson. He's going to sit it again. He has not been good in turns 1 and 2, but there he goes in the middle. He's closing again.
Brightsman has to win this race somehow, some way. West right there behind him. Garber, what a great run for him. We forgot to mention what a great job he's got in the top 5. Right now, though, to the line. 3 laps to go. Brightsman will send it Jason through the dog leg, going to turn 1 with a shot to go for a championship at Homestead.
He's got to be really careful getting back down to the bottom of this racetrack and putting the power down. He's been getting really loose out of 2. He's still there right on the bumper of Caden Anderson with
question, though, is will he be able to get him? Caden's been so fast, but Sean is on faster tires, or quicker. Sorry, he's on lesser worn tires. Here he comes into the
Two
top
to go.
right. He spins it down in there with 2 laps to go as they head into 1.
Oh,
Making
my
a
goodness,
car
Terry
link.
Radford, he's going to do everything he can there, buddy, off that corner. Watch him.
Making a car link there. He's going to come off the corner. He has been good at all race long, but he kept it even, 0.2 of a second. He'll have to send it down in 3 and 4 here. He's got one more chance at it, but this dog leg's where he's been fast.
This is it. The CRN 1 to go. The final lap. Brightsman needs to win to put himself in the final 4. I don't think he can do it by points, but Caden Anderson is still out in front. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Brightsman goes high. He goes low. He cannot find any way to get around him. Caden Anderson is going to spoil an upset with restarts earlier over everyone else to win here at Phoenix. The question is, who has enough points to put their opportunity in to go and join these drivers for a championship? By the way, Caden Anderson, you see the playoffs on the truck, but he is not in. I just want to clarify this for our audience and listeners on CRN. He is not one of the 8 that could have been running for a championship, Terry Radford. So that means we got to go to virtue of the points to determine who's going to join Ryan Bloom and Stephen O'Hare.
Yeah, we'll see who gets in with it. Math's not any of our strong suits up here. We'll let the computer do it. And we look at the race results, Wesley. Anderson, Brightsman, Garber, West, Newton, White, Stabnow, and O'Hare up here at the top 8. That was how disappointing is it for Brightsman and Dan West Jr., who both had very decent trucks.
That's right. That's right. And there's the celebration as they start wadding them up the 37 of Caden Anderson and the LSRTV Northwest High Five Salute. It's going to be Troy Daggett 9th, Frank Harris is 10th, 11th. We'll go to Tyler King, Brett Johnson 12th, Ray Fournier 14th with Aaron Cooper, John Annenbacher, and Toby Ritters. The rundown, 12 trucks in the lead lap when this race concluded here, Jason.
Raz there in 7th, Bryce Clark 18th, Kevin Smith 19th, Devin West there in 20th. Rounding out the field, your last few spots, you had Pryor Reynolds there, 21st, BJ Tidrick, Gary Nichols, then James Vining and Chad Malik, who did not start tonight's race. And that is your unofficial results here tonight from Phoenix.
Ready to see everything update from Dover here tonight at Phoenix to find out who are the final 4. We're going musical. We're getting ready for post-race finish line. Who is going to Homestead for the final race of the season of 2022 next Thursday night? But one thing we know, Caden Anderson wins here in the trucks. Controversial if it may be, he wins tonight at the Valley of the Sun, virtually on the iRacing Simulator. We're back in a moment. Finish line, post-race wrap-up, iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. Next. Welcome back to the virtual Valley of the Sun. The penultimate race of the regular season has just concluded to determine the championship 4. We will unveil the 4 drivers that will be racing at Homestead. But before we do that, it's time for the finish line post-race wrap-up. Jason Rockefeller is with the man on the podium in 3rd. What a great job for the driver of the 94. Up 16 spots of Casey Garber. Jason's with him now at Phoenix.
Jason up in the booth, man. Coming home 3rd tonight. Probably the biggest upset of the night here. I don't think anybody expected, no offense, for you to be sitting here on the podium in 3rd. How did you do it here tonight, man?
I just hung out in the back and kind of waited for everyone to wreck or sort their stuff out there and just wanted to be there at the end.
Well, my man, you did a great job doing it here tonight. You head into next week at Homestead. 1 race left, obviously. You know, not competing for a title. You're not competing for a title or anything like that. But how do you take next week knowing that it's the season finale for the Truck Series? What is your biggest takeaway here from this season so far heading into next week? What do you think your favorite moment's been?
Oh, I don't know. The podiums are always fun. It'd be nice to get a win here. It's been a while since I've won, but I haven't really put the time in on the sim, so we'll get back to it this winter, though.
Well, Casey, before we let you go here tonight, anybody you got to thank on that race team for coming home on the podium in 3rd here tonight at the Phoenix Raceway?
Yeah, I just want to thank Garber's Garage, and that's it.
Well, short and simple there, folks. There you have it. That's Casey Garber coming home 3rd tonight at the Phoenix Raceway. We'll head trackside for the 2nd place finisher here tonight. That's Sean Breitzman.
Hello, Breitzman, man. Had a strategy unlike anybody else up there and looked like you were going to win this thing. Caution comes out, and you had a chance. You're just a little loose there off of 2. What did the truck feel like?
You know, it felt really great, to be honest. Just a little too throttle happy there trying to get past Caden. So overall, a great night for the Brights Boutique Toyota Tundra and Team LSRTV. We had a wicked fast set for the most part up until I don't know where Caden found out all his speed, but it didn't seem like he had it at the first run. But I think he tightened it up, made some great changes, and he was just bad fast.
Well, you had an up and down race. You started out wrecked, a lap down, got the caution, comes back up. You're leading the race with 20 to go. I don't know where this puts you in the points, but if you don't make it to the final 4, what are you going to do next week? You going to go out there and win it, spool a championship walk off for one of those drivers, and wrap your season up?
Oh yeah, we definitely didn't make the championship 4. We'll be there next week. We will try to spoil the fun for Beaver State and Thunder Road and those drivers there, so that way they don't get a walk-off championship win. But we'll be there to try to battle it out.
Well, thank those sponsors, man. That puts it out there every week.
I just got to thank Brights Boutique, Central Welding Supply, Blenders Iowa, Swag Golf, LSRTV, everybody on our team, Dan, Jeff, Devin, John, everybody that worked really hard on the set this week. Amazing set to even have this opportunity. So big shout out to those guys, and thanks to everybody at the Northwest Racing Series for coming out.
We appreciate you, Sean Breitzman. Congrats on P2, and Wesley Outland standing by with that Caden Anderson guy, the winner of the race.
And Yakima, Washington's Caden Anderson will settle into victory lane again when it's all said and done. Caden Anderson here in victory lane. When it is completed, will pick up the victory in the number 37. In addition to that, it will be his 4th win this year. And Caden, controversial if not, the restarts. Taking advantage of knowing when the pace car drops onto the apron and you catching everybody asleep at the wheel. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but several times. Do you think that's the outcome of why you're in victory lane, besides that setup you made, having problems earlier in the race, making some fixes, and then getting the win here?
Yeah, honestly, this track is not one of my best. I'm not a fan of this track. I've never been good here. I've gotten lucky in the past, and yeah, so we struggled early on, and just kind of, you know, steady pace and try to figure some things out. And I learned a couple things from Dan when he passed me early on, like lap 5. So I just took mental notes, and then we took a strategy to pit early and waste a set of tires basically to try to get to the front and have track position. And then at that point, cautions came out and just took advantage of iRacing.
Can you elaborate more on that, of taking advantage of iRacing?
iRacing, they haven't really put together a code to have an official restart zone. So on iRacing is, you know, as soon as that pace car drops, you're free to go. And that's what I did. I had every opportunity to go whenever I wanted to once that pace car was off, and I took advantage of it when I could.
And obviously, with the configuration of this racetrack, that made it very, very simpler to be able to pull away on the backstretch firing at 3.
Yeah, I mean, most tracks, you know, the pace car pulls off on what would be the end, the start of the front stretch, so there's not very much jump you can get there. But here at Phoenix, the pace car pulls off a 2, and you have that whole back stretch, and then coming off of the corner to be able to have your restart. So, yeah.
Well, listen, I'll let you thank your sponsors here in closing. Will we see you at Homestead next week and try to pull an upset to try to win some races? I know you're not racing for a championship, but I know you're going to be trying to look for that 5th win to close out the season possible. Will you be there?
Yeah, Homestead's one of my fun tracks, and we'll probably try to come out if I have nothing going on and try to play spoiler. First off, I want to say congrats to all the top 4. Paul Newton, Tyler King, Ryan Bloom, and Stefan O'Hare, those guys worked all year really good, and they have a few wins each, and so congrats to those guys. And thank my sponsors, Studio 10 Wraps, Harvest Chevrolet, Takedown Tackle, and PTI Transportation.
At the end of round number 32 here for the season, when it's all said and done, it is the driver of the number 37 out of Yakima, Washington, Caden Anderson, picks up his 4th win here at the penultimate race of the regulars of the season at Phoenix. Who is joining Stefan O'Hare and Ryan Bloom? We'll unveil those final 2 drivers and wrap things up when we return from Phoenix next.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. You can have the music played in the background. Welcome back. We are about to get off the air here, but before we do that, the suspense is killing many. There's a lot of people that are still watching, and we thank you. First off, we know Caden Anderson has picked up the win. He picked up his 4th win here tonight on the strategy. We'll get your thoughts on that analysis here in just a moment, closing with Jason and Terry. However, Stephen O'Hare, we knew coming onto the air, they're racing at Homestead for a championship. At the end of the line, Ryan Bloom won at Dover last week. He knew was not going to be here tonight. He said, I got to win to be able to run at Homestead. He's done just that. We told you the storylines leading up to the race, the best of our ability, with guys like Dan West Jr. and Sean Brightsman, who we said needed to win the race to punch their ticket. They come up short. When it's all said and done, it will be shades of Junior Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing in the Xfinity Series Championship last week, with 3 drivers representing Beaver State Racing, 1 driver representing Thunder Road, as Stephen O'Hare, Ryan Bloom will be joined by Tyler King and Jason Paul Newton. Though having a nightmare, has somehow, some way, by virtue of points, punched their ticket into the final race. The final 4 are set at the end of the road. Remember, the winner doesn't have to be a Final 4 driver. They've just got to finish ahead of the drivers that they're racing for a championship. Terry, I'll leave you with the closing thoughts, brother.
I don't like it when he's right. When he's right. So, it was a great race. I'm actually really excited to see Beaver State versus Thunder Road. Beaver State's Beaver State's been the class of the field. They've been up front. They've been winning a lot of races. They've had the most consistency across the board. Well, whatever. Team LSRTV's had a good run. I thought that their best chance was going to be with Dan West Jr. tonight. It ended up being with Sean Brightsman. Next week, though,
how about it?
This box between
me
and you is going to be one. So it'll be
each other
like this or like that. Yeah.
Well, already we're swaying the damn boat back and forth. We're going to tip it over. So, no. Hey, J-Rock, Carrot Top, you're taking the race here tonight in Phoenix, buddy.
He said Carrot Top. Well, tonight was everything but what
All
Dover was last weekend. Tonight it was green flag running at first, and then it turned into a caution fest, but it was great racing all around. Heads up to Sean Brightsman. I mean, he tried, but it just wasn't enough.
I really thought we were going to go into overtime.
No, I really
did.
I mean, it was awesome to see Sean Brightsman coming back from a lap down all the way back up to 2nd place. If you just think about it, if he would have tried what you always say, Wesley, some bonsai move, he'd be sitting with a chance to go to Homestead next week and run for a championship. Unfortunately, that's not the case, though. But for these 4 drivers right now, looking at it, also, by the way, congratulations to Caden Anderson. Also, I haven't gotten to say it, but thank you to all of our military veterans. Thank you for service. Terry, thank you, brother, for your service, too, as well. I want to thank my uncle, too. He was in the Navy at one point. Shout out to him. But congrats to Caden for a championship pick, as all I hear is Cody's microwave or something going off.
Carrot Top's turning red. That's all I can tell you.
It came true It came true tonight. It might be a long shot. I think Paul Newton walks away next week with a win at Homestead or the highest spot. I think Paul Newton ends up being your 2022 Northwest Truck Series champion.
Now, again, you got to remember with the drivers like and I'm going to go, and honestly, I'm going to go with Tyler King. I really do. You've got Ryan Bloom, Terry, Jason. You've got Paul Newton. You're going to stick with him. I'm going to go with Tyler King. I really think Tyler King has been a momentum guy. And again, I might be messing up here thinking not about Stephen O'Hare, because Stephen O'Hare has definitely been somebody that we've got to watch. So for sure. And remember, the championship race with Terry and myself will be live on location thanks to Steve and Jacqueline Zacharias and NASCAR from the 30th running of the Charlie Powell, South Carolina Memorial 400. We've got coverage leading up to that event. We'll have interviews throughout the weekend, finish line, the pill draw qualifying show, and so much more. And Terry, I got to leave you with this. Normally you wear your Tennessee Volunteer clothes, but I find it funny that you're wearing Tennessee Titans clothes. Oh,
He's
God.
always got it on.
Let's
What are
just
you
get
talking
off the
about?
air. Let's just go. Let's go, okay? You ruined it. You ruined the moment. But I was going to say in closing that you are at least still wearing, football clothes of somebody that lost the Super Bowl by 1 yard.
I always rep my balls. They're always over my shoulder. And they're always on. It's cold in here. Tropical storm, whatever her name was, hit. It's been
Nicole.
windy all day. Yeah, Nicole. Been windy all day. It's a little cold in here. So, we had to cover it up. But tighten up.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to go. Carrot Top, J-Rock will be here next week. We've got Tim Moore here next week. We've got Terry Radford and myself at Florence, and we're going to assign a championship to close out the season. A hell of a year. It has
Get
been.
wrecked.
Stephen O'Hare, Ryan Bloom, Tyler King, Paul Newton. We leave you with a shot of Phoenix Raceway. It's on to Homestead next week. Final race analysis, by the way. Let Charles do a little bit more work before we go off the air. For the race, the entire outcome was, at the end of 175 laps, 10 cautions, 40 caution laps, 7 lead changes. We'll see you at Homestead next week. For Charles Wooten, Jeff Stabnow, everybody at LSR Productions, Rocket Media, Community Radio Network, for J-Rock, Carrot Top, Jason Rockefeller, for the T-Man, Terry Radford in the middle. I'll see you at Florence next week, brother. I'm the West Man, Wesley Outland. We're getting nicknames now like dirt drivers do. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Congratulations to Kaden Anderson, the winner, Stephen O'Hare, Ryan Bloom, Tyler King, Paul Newton, 4 drivers. Who will be the champion? We'll find out at Homestead. Join us next Thursday night from Florence, South Carolina, at the Speedway, at a real track, in the press box, as we crown the champion of the Northwest Racing Series playoffs in trucks. Be good to one another. God bless you all. Keep on praying for America. Thank you, veterans. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.